Hello and welcome to the webinar. We're glad that you could make it. This is the How Baby Boomers Are Retiring in Style webinar. We are going to have a little chat with you and let you know or let you in on 3 little secrets to retirement income. My name is Anne Armitage. I am one of your co-hosts, and my other co-host, or the other co-host here with me today, is Brian Knight.
Now, I'm actually from Melbourne in Australia, and Anne is from?
I am from Ontario, Canada.
Yeah. So we're in different parts of the world, yet we have a common goal of actually continuing our retiring in style, and we'd like to share that with you.
Indeed. Indeed. And before we do, let's maybe just, well, it's kind of unfortunate we have to talk about these things, isn't it? But this is kind of life reality when we go on. Unfortunately, there's many people like ourselves, these baby boomer age folks, who find themselves in a less than desirable financial position as they are either in retirement already or heading towards retirement. And it's a bit of a concern, to say the least. So let's just have a quick look here at a little bit of information in that regard. Many of us, when we're in our 50s, start to realize that, of course, the retirement is knocking at the door and it's right around the corner, waiting for us. And we then often tend to panic because we realize we've been very bad about saving. And we have had lots of time to do it and we haven't done it. To the extent that actually 42% of 50-somethings do in fact expect that their standard of living is going to decrease when they retire, rather than being able to maintain it. 59% of us plan to work past the age of 65, and many plan not to retire at all. 82% of 60-somethings expect to or are already working past 65, or again do not plan to retire at all. Not exactly what I'd be looking forward to. I don't know about you, Brian, but
No. Well, the thing though is there's a mentality with us baby boomers that we're going to challenge adversity, and part of that is, well, if difficulty comes along, we're just going to try and work past it. If there was another option, though, we could take it.
Yep. And sometimes it's a matter of finding what that may be. You want to do this one, Brian?
Yeah, sure. Now, look, baby boomers, and as I was saying, we are trailblazers. We're the ones that got out there, and because our parents were basically just post the they were through the Second World War stuff,
or the wartime,
and we were the product of better times. There was a hold off, and then there was all of a sudden a boom of babies because things were a little more settled, and so that created the ability for us to be more trailblazers. And then but this is where retirement increasingly includes like working, and though 75% do not have a backup plan for retirement income, and if they're unable to work prior to reaching their planning, well, that's if they're unable to work prior to reaching their planned retirement date. Now that's 75% overall, and then it breaks down. 30% of Americans expect a government pension, and 40% of Canadians expect that government pension as well, and to be their primary source of income when they retire. So,
and I'm sure most people realize that government pensions are nothing to look forward to.
No, well, yeah.
No, they help. There's no question they help, but they're really, really, really difficult to survive on. So,
well, where I live, they're actually shrinking and shrinking because there's been, we call it superannuation or sort of pension fund or whatever you want to call it, and but we haven't had a lot of years of being employed with that option. It came in, and so those funds are actually not enough to support, a retirement that you're used to being in the lifestyle, or to be able to enjoy. I mean, what's the difference? The difference is being able to enjoy a lifestyle because you have those that income resources to be able to do it, or you've got to bring that back to basically sitting around watching TV or whatever, and opening up cat food cans. So
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, no, maybe it's not that desperate, but the point
But
is,
it's
it
it's
can
it's
get to
very
that.
difficult, very
Yeah,
very difficult
yeah.
to say the least. And I'm sure that there's going to be people watching this along with us that can attest to that as well.
Mhm.
Then we have this lovely statistic as well, and that is 80% of boomers are concerned about their retirement expenses. Well, that really isn't a big surprise to me personally. I am one of those people that is, or at least was, concerned quite a bit about my retirement expenses. The three top concerns are general lifestyle expenses. So maintaining the lifestyle that you have currently, and living as comfortably as you currently do. Um, Paying for assisted living care expenses, that is a concern as well, because if you've ever looked into any of that sort of thing, you'll discover very quickly how expensive it is. And then the third is medical and pharmaceutical expenses. So we know as we tend to get older, we get more aches and pains and illnesses and things like that start to crop up, and then we've got to deal with those financial problems as well.
Mm.
So it's a lot. It's a lot to think about, and it's a lot to try to get your head wrapped around
Oh yeah,
in terms of how you're going to deal with it.
how's this hand? There's my. I don't know if you can hear.
No, I can't hear it.
Oh, it's my alarm just telling me to take my medicine.
Oh, there you go. See?
And I want to mention, Anne, at this point, these 1, 2, 3 points you see in front of you, they can move very quickly in a person's lifestyle. I mean, you
Yeah.
have experience of how these things can move around. I've got experience of how these things move around.
Hmm.
Um, you know, 18 months ago, I had a coronary incident. Nothing up till then in my life. I've never taken any medications and never needed anything. And all of a sudden it was
Yep.
that change. So,
Absolutely.
and for you,
Absolutely.
Anne,
Well, I am a cancer survivor, so thank you very much. That was a big surprise as well. Yeah, it's one of those things that kind of comes up and smacks you in the face when you least expect it.
yeah.
The good news is, of course, that I'm still here. But that said, that it did change my life quite a bit.
But it
So
didn't
yeah,
it didn't only change your life though, Anne, it changed your attitude to how you wanted to live in
both,
retirement, and
both.
myself as well. Yeah.
Yeah, both. That's very true.
Okay,
Very true.
good.
So since we're talking about ourselves a little bit, then Brian, why don't I just turn it over to you, and you can tell us a little bit more about yourself
Oh gosh.
and what we're doing here.
Well, I suppose the simple things is what determines my whole life is basically, um, I have 4 daughters and a lovely partner called Claire, who's a midwife who looks after women and babies that come into the world. So I'm pretty blessed with all of that stuff in my life. Um, I now also have 3 grandchildren. But what my sort of life careers have been is many and varied. I've owned. So let me put it this way: when I was 25, I'm a little bit. I'm 60 now. So when I was 25 was the last time a company or a person paid me a wage. Since I've been 25, I've basically worked on my own for myself, for my family, and earning what I do. So I have that. I suppose, I have that bit of entrepreneurial streak, and I've started, I've run, built up, and sold a number of businesses over my life. And I think the last one I sold was probably about, what's that? It's about 6, nearly 7 years ago. And so I've sort of been on the road of looking for something for a while, and then I've been doing this, what we're doing, for a number of years now and enjoying it. So over to you, Anne.
Well, my story is actually somewhat similar to Brian's. I actually have a long history in retail, but my parents were both very entrepreneurial. My father worked for himself as a house painter, although he was trained to be a barber. And it was in barber school that he and my mom met. My mother was a hairdresser who, although she did work for an actual salon for a period of time, after my dad passed away at a very young age, she started working on her own. So I grew up with the idea that working for yourself was not a bad thing, that it was not necessarily an easy thing, but that it had a certain nobility You know, you got to be in charge of what you did, when you did, and how you did, good, bad, or otherwise. That said, again, I spent a lot of my career, my working career, in retail management, which when you're a young person isn't such a bad thing, but as you get older and older and older, and you have all these crazy hours and you know, a schedule that's, you know, up and down and all over the place, it becomes tiresome, quite tiresome, literally and figuratively. So when I had an opportunity to try to do something different, I started up with a company to try to do a little bit of my, you know, at-home business kind of a thing while I was still working. I felt like it was going reasonably well, and I took the leap. I could see the writing on the wall where the company that I was working with, I knew it wasn't going to make it much longer, and I thought, I'm going to get out while getting's good. So I did, which meant that I now had to figure out what I was doing. Fast forward several years, and I struggled like most people do. I was of that 93% or so that generally fail. But I kept going. And what I ended up doing instead to keep things rolling along was I got a part-time job. And again, everything was kind of going along fine. I was still kind of doing my own little thing at home while I was doing the part-time job. And then boom, I got hit with the cancer diagnosis. That, of course, just changes everything. I mean, it takes a year out of your life to go through the whole treatment process and the surgery and the chemo and the radiation and, you know, so on and so on. I unfortunately, the cancer that I had was breast cancer, and it's not uncommon for people with breast cancer to develop a subsequent chronic problem known as lymphedema, which basically is a swelling of the limb. And I unfortunately developed that within months of completing all of my treatment. So as a result of that, trying to go back to a regular job was pretty much off the table, because, you know, it just slows me down, hampers me. It just, you know, wasn't going to work. So I had to find something else. And luckily I did. Luckily I did. And so here we are today, both Brian and I, quite anxious to share this with you.
I think, Anne, the takeaway from your story and mine is we tried lots of things that didn't necessarily work, and we've found something that does work. And I suppose if we can share that, and people don't have to go through the things that don't work, so then
Absolutely,
we're able to give people a gift. So yeah, this is where it is. We've done a lot of things wrong.
Yep.
Well, maybe not wrong.
Well, maybe, we've done a lot of things that maybe went wrong.
Well, we found things that maybe didn't work, and then this is what we did right.
Exactly. So let's talk about some things that are interesting here as well. So you probably are saying to yourself at this point, okay, well, that's fine. You know, you have these challenges and things come up in life, and you know, and it's all good and well to want to have, you know, a better financial situation going into retirement or already in retirement. But what's a person to do? Yeah. What is the answer? Okay, so let's have a look at that. Let's talk a little bit about how we boomers are using Forex to fund our retirement dreams. And actually, all you really need is a small piece of the other side of the screen here. Forex is a market, and we'll talk a little bit more about that and explain it in just a moment. But right now, I just want you to realize that this particular market operates on a daily basis in excess of $6.6 trillion. It is the largest global market that there is. If you take the London market, the New York stock market, and the Tokyo stock market and combine them, they don't even come anywhere near to the volume of this particular market. There's a few other statistics down here. I'm just going to read through for you. Global currency trading surges to 6.6 trillion a day. Trading in the global foreign exchange market has jumped to the highest ever level at $6.6 trillion, according to the Bank for International Settlements. And just a few notes. The London market accounts for 43% of all the activity in the foreign exchange market. The share of trading in the US has shifted, so it's actually gone down a little bit to 17%. The US dollar is involved in 88% of all trades in the foreign exchange market. It's the key currency involved. Currencies of emerging markets, or pardon me, currencies of emerging market economies, again, gained market share, reaching a total of 25% of overall global turnover. And the share of trades involving the euro increased to 32%, while the yen slipped to 17%, but it still held its spot. So I know it's a lot of statistics and a little bit dry perhaps at this moment in time. It'll make sense more in a moment.
Yeah. So I suppose we need to actually explain what Forex is.
I think we should, but we'll talk about what we don't need to worry about first.
Okay. Yeah, that's right. That in part of this, there's no selling or recruiting to others.
Yep.
It's not necessary to actually create and gain a profit. You don't have to speak to anyone to make a profit. You don't have to spend lots of time learning new skills. You can copy successful traders. It's quite, like I suppose we have this thing, it's like at school and that you're not allowed to copy. Well, here it's actually
Here we encourage it.
it's important that you copy traders and take their trades, especially when you're new. Many trade rooms are set up where communities trade together, and to our knowledge, there weren't anyone's aimed at boomers, so we set one up.
Yep.
And we, at the
have
moment,
one, Brian and I.
yeah. So what we do is we trade live trading with our fellow colleagues.
Comrades. Yep.
Yeah, twice a week at this point in time.
Yep.
You can also compound your money to make fantastic returns. And if you don't realize, all banks compound your money.
They also trade in the Forex market.
Yeah, they do too. But the thing is, when they loan you money for a home loan or something that for example, they compound their money. So let's use that to our advantage. And your money is safe as you control it, and you're always in full control of your own trades. You put the trades on, you take the trades off, you put your money into an account. It's like your own private bank account. Nobody else can touch it. It's the same thing. You log in, log out, all that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Precisely. Yep, exactly. In addition, unlike most online businesses, you don't have to build websites, blogs, lead capture pages, all this other stuff that you may actually have no idea about anyway.
Yeah, or gain the knowledge of how to do it.
Yeah, you don't even have to worry about any of that sort of thing. You don't really even have to be super tech savvy. I mean, if you can basically operate a computer, and if you can copy and paste, it's all good. You're fine. Okay. You might find yourself, these are kind of reasons why you might want to consider doing what we're doing. For example, when you start retirement, you may initially be in love with all the free time that you have or that you think you're going to have. But you may also find that without a clear direction, and knowing what you want to do and how you'll schedule your days, you may find yourself feeling kind of lost or directionless. And the other reason, or another good reason for looking at this, is that maybe you just don't have enough retirement income to fund your desired lifestyle, and you're interested in taking steps towards possible solutions. We've sort of already touched on that previously. Yeah. We know that a good portion of us baby boomers are just not prepared.
And also too, Anne, as a side point in that middle note there, I mean, there is also too, there's having your mind languish. You need to keep your mind active, and this is a great tool to actually keep your mind active. I mean, we talk about things like Alzheimer's or
dementia.
Yeah. And people do things like crosswords and Sudokus and all these things to keep their mind happening. This is a way of doing it and earning an income while you're doing it. So
exactly.
Yeah,
precisely.
Uh-oh.
So Brian, what is Forex and is it legal?
It's definitely legal. What happens is all banks, corporations, like for example, if a company wants to buy products from one country to another, they have to actually change money to buy that product from, because that country won't take the money that they use in their country. So there's a whole lot of money moving, and then banks have to move money around as well. They take your money. Have you ever had the situation where, for example, you get an amount of money and then it takes 2 or 3 days before it clears in your bank, before the bank actually shows up in your account? Well, they're using that money on the foreign exchange to make more money for themselves while you wait to get the money in your account.
Yep.
So we all actually have and know foreign exchange if we've ever traveled out of our own country to another country where there's a different
Mhm.
currency.
Exactly.
And that's sort of like a manual foreign exchange where we go, I have this amount of dollar, pound, yen, whatever it is, and I need to change it for something else.
Hmm.
You're changing foreign money. That's what you're
Yep.
doing. And of course it's legal because you have to use that money in another country. We're just doing it online without having to go to the other country. So
Precisely.
we'll
Yep.
explain that in a little while. So
We
it's
sure
the
will.
most liquid market in the world. And this is where Anne explained it just before. This Forex market, if you remember, 6.6 trillion per day, sloshing around the world in different markets.
Yep.
And you've got New York is 22.4 billion only. The Tokyo's 18.9 billion only, and London is 7.2 billion only. So if you add them all together, 20, that's 40, 50 billion only compared to
Nowhere near.
6.6 trillion. Now, that's a lot of different zeros, I can tell you now. Don't even worry about the maths of it, but you can just see the difference in those cubes on that scale.
Yeah,
Um,
it's enormous, absolutely enormous.
yeah.
So if you're wondering, 4X actually stands for foreign exchange. It's the short form for that, and that's how it's known. It's also known as FX for an even shorter version of the word. And we can just move on as to how it works. So how does it work actually? So in essence, what you're doing is you're going to buy or sell one currency against another as the exchange rate varies, and then you profit from the difference of the variance.
And
That's
this,
kind of
this
in a
and
nutshell.
And then this is where some of the question comes up. Well, hang on a minute. How do you make money if the price goes down? Don't you only make money when the price goes up? No. See, this is where foreign exchange is very different to stocks and shares.
Yep.
If you buy a stock and it goes up, you can sell it and then make money. If it goes down, you actually lose.
Yep.
You lose money. With foreign exchange, you have the option of going, this is going to go stronger, this currency, and be able to make money. And if you say that the currency is going to weaken and you put a trade in that direction, you're going to make money. So
Correct.
that's sort of like, whoa, that's an amazing option. You've now doubled your ability to earn income out of this market.
Yes. You absolutely have. I mean, basically what you're saying is, like, for us, whether it's a buy or a sell is irrelevant. We can still make money off whichever direction the market happens to move in.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So you were talking about traveling just a moment ago, and that's probably the best way to explain really about foreign exchange. Anyone who has actually gone out traveling anywhere in the world, you will have probably changed your home currency for the currency of the country that you were going to. So, for example, if I was to go and visit Brian in Australia, I would change my Canadian money for Australian money. And when I go to the bank and I do that, then they are going to obviously charge me a fee to do it, first of all, but that's their little cut of it. But whatever the market value is at that moment in time when I change my Canadian for Australian money, that's how it equates in terms of how much I actually get out of it. When I go back and I change it back again, then I could actually gain or I could lose again.
Okay.
That's in a nutshell. Let's just have a little example here. So let's say I'm going to come visit you, Brian.
You're welcome.
We're going to take a trip. So again, let's say I decide to take a trip to Australia to visit Brian. I decide I need $1,000 spending money, so that's $1,000 Canadian. I go to the bank and I get it exchanged to Australian dollars. With the daily exchange rate, my Canadian 1,000 is now worth 1,500 Australian, let's say. When I get to Australia, Brian, because he's such a wonderful guy, he says, put your money away and it's all on me. Such a nice guy. When I get back home, I go to the bank and I change my money back to Canadian dollars, but will I get my full 1,000 back? Maybe yes, maybe no. It will all depend on the exchange rate at that moment in time. So that's kind of how, I mean, if you do any traveling or you've done any traveling, then that's, you've participated basically in the foreign exchange market, whether you realize it or not.
Yeah,
So that's,
that then also, Anne, is a period of time. So whatever that time it took you from when you changed it to when you want to change it back is actually what is the difference.
yes.
We can have trading over that period of time as well with the currency,
Yep.
or we can have shorter periods of time. It can be from 5 minutes to hour to 4 hours to daily to weekly, whatever, in a certain currency. So yeah, that's where it's a little different. And we just do it online from the comfort of our own home.
We sure do. We sure do. There you go. Brian, would you like to do that one?
Sure. Look, there's, as far as the currency traders are concerned, and this comes a little bit back to, is it legal? The thing is, financial institutions provide most of the volume that causes the market to move in the way it does. And this sort of chart over here, the 10, you got CTI, JP Morgan, UBS, Deutsche Bank. You can see banks, Barclays, HSBC, there's the Hong Kong bank, XTX markets, England stuff. We've got Morgan Stanley. There's lots and lots of different banks, and you can see the percentage of the market share. And they trade, this is May 2016, yet that's, the percentage will probably go up and down, but they're still trading on this foreign exchange market. So,
Yeah.
so at the top is the interbank foreign exchange market, which is made up of the largest commercial banks and security dealers. From there are smaller banks followed by large multinationals, and they need to hedge risk and pay employees in different countries, large hedge funds, and even some of the retail market makers. We're part of that sort of retail market that we sort of get bit of that 6.6 trillion where
We get our little share of it. Yeah.
yeah, so, and that's okay. I only want that little bit. I don't
I only
need.
need a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm
yeah,
not greedy.
yeah. All right.
So why work with us?
Yeah,
That's a good question. And moreover, why we work with IM Mastery Academy.
yeah,
So one of the things that we do as a group, within our company and within our fellow members, we actually do live trading. And we mentioned this previously when Brian was talking about having recognized that there wasn't a group for baby boomers, and so he and I created one that we do twice a week. So we get together, through the computer on a webinar similar to this, with fellow members, and we analyze charts and we talk about them, and we hopefully find trades to take together. It's a great training and coaching opportunity. Everyone gets a chance to ask questions, and we learn from each other quite nicely. It does take a lot of the stress and strain off the learning process, especially for newer people. Again, because you have the opportunity to talk to others who have probably more experience than yourself, and you can learn directly from them. We do, if you look at this chart here, we do have live trading sessions within our group. The other larger one is one that's actually in the UK, which runs in the mornings, Monday to Friday. And they are doing very, very well. They have a very high percentage win rate. Brian and I also have a very high percentage win rate. So it is working very, very well. So again, it's an example of our results. As I mentioned, the 10 Pips a Day Club is the UK club. They have a 93% success rate. And Brian and I, with our Baby Boomer Power Hour, we have a 78% success rate. So it's working very well, and the members are thrilled.
Yeah, and this is, well, that's right. We're getting feedback from them. It's like, wow, this is great. We're being assisted along the process with the knowledge that people can place on where the trades are. This is the support that we give to be able to get to where you want to within this within this group.
It's only one example actually, but it is the one that is the most popular at this moment in time, and it is quite significant being able to actually discuss what you're seeing with others. It makes a huge difference for people.
Yeah, enormous.
Yeah.
I wish it was around when I started.
Well, me too, Brian. Me too. I really do. It would have helped quite a lot, but that's okay.
It's here now.
That's right. It's here now. We've got it now.
So
So
this
what is
is,
I am, Brian?
yeah, IM is basically, in short, it's a 6-year-old online company. It was started by a couple of people that were and are successful traders that wanted to share their knowledge and experience and opportunity to other people that didn't know how to do it. It provides an educational platform to teach how to trade foreign exchange. It's one of the largest online foreign exchange and cryptocurrency education platforms. Don't be worried about that crypto thing. That's okay. You just want to learn the process. IM also offers an extensive array of tools and training. It is extensive. I got to stress that. Sometimes it's like, oh my gosh, there is so much. It just allows you to cherry pick whatever you want out of it, though. And rather
And
than
as
just
you
like,
grow
I've
with your
only got
experience,
one or two things,
yeah,
there are, a plethora of things. You then can pick and choose what suits your lifestyle.
exactly.
Currently, it has a membership approaching 100,000.
We've actually overcome that. We are now probably sitting at about, probably 140,000.
Wow.
Just in this past week, we've had quite a number of members coming in. So we're getting up there.
Yeah. So part of the wave is moving. So whether you want to jump on that wave or be behind it. So
Yep.
I am also earned a AAA plus rating from Business for Home, which that's exactly what you want to be able to do and know that it's got this sort of credibility as well.
Correct. Absolutely. So at I Am Mastery Academy, we do have a mission. Our mission is to revolutionize the financial educational industry with I Am Mastery Academy as the ultimate vehicle, which will bring people self-respect, dignity, and the power to change their lives and the lives of others around the world.
It's only it's only for people who want to actually take it on.
Well, of course,
Correct. Yeah.
of course. For those who are interested, this is what we are up to, basically.
Yeah.
And our vision is, as a result, of course, to educate, enrich, and empower. We currently operate in over 120 countries across the world, so it is very much a global company. There are in excess of 1 million visits to the Academy, in other words, to the website on a monthly basis. We, because of the number of countries that we're in, we actually also do educate in 8 major languages. And we have, actually that number has grown now. We have over 100 full-time educators.
Yeah.
Who train, teach, do live trading as well, and so on. It's quite fabulous that way.
You are never able to be idle with
Unless you choose to be, but there's no reason to choose to be.
Correct. And you can be if you want to. So yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
So iMarkets Live or IM Academy, this is where the AAA opportunity has been assessed by this Business for Home. And you can see this is in December of 2018. So it's not quite 12 months ago with this. It's based, on the key figures such as revenue momentum, Alexa ratings, poll results, blah, 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 blah. Yet this company that we're aligned with and use their resources has this recognition.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's actually quite a compliment from this company. They do their own independent investigation and interviews and so on, and they determine this on their own. So it's quite something. So I am educated. This again is speaking to the multitude of education that there is within our company. We like to simplify learning, so that's a good thing. Our academies and live mentorship empower you with the skill sets and knowledge to help you build real wealth and freedom. Again, we have 100+ education videos that are easy to follow and give you the ability to learn at your own pace. There is basic to advanced market education, which is broken down into step-by-step modules so that you can learn how to master the markets. There is Forex and cryptocurrency education with beginner, intermediate, and advanced learning modules.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot to choose from.
So, Anne, I think there's a key point here. I mean,
Mhm.
we need to address something at this point. I mean, you can get education in lots of different places. You know, it doesn't have to be I am educated. Yet the value that's within here and how it's been created is far more than anything you can get outside. And I'll come back to that sort of, live trading and the help within the groups. That's the value that comes in it. Like lots of people want to try and do this on their own. Sure, you can, but the percentage of failure in doing that is is
It's very
is
high.
is very high. So why would you go, if you want to be successful? Why would you go with something that has a very low sort of success rate or a high percentage of failure, when here with doing this you can have a high percentage of success and a very low percentage of failure? So
Hmm.
that's how I
Yep.
would point it out anyway.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Oh yeah, this
And
is this is
go
great.
live.
Yeah. So this is where Anne was saying there's 100 educators. So this is where you have successful traders who teach you like you're looking over their shoulder. It's a bit like watching a webinar, a live um, trading session. I mean, some trade, some train, some do both within their sessions. And there's a whole schedule throughout the week of people on, off. And so it's picking what suits your lifestyle. It says nearly 1,000 hours a month. It's actually more than that in
Yeah,
all of those languages, and also different categories of trading as well. So in the
yeah.
live trading, we can help you sort of look at what you want to focus on. So yeah, no, it's fantastic.
We should perhaps just differentiate very quickly that the 100 educators and this live trading that some of them do, that is strictly within the company of I Am Mastery Academy. When we also reference live trading, we're talking about ourselves within our own little group. So it's a little bit different, but there's still astounding amount of learning that you can achieve from
Yeah,
any of it.
we have a comment here. We say same, but different.
Exactly. So we encourage you to conquer new heights and let these simple tools do the heavy lifting for you.
Yeah.
What we're about to talk about. So you can leverage the power of exclusive algorithms taught by master educators to receive powerful trade ideas and market analysis for the best opportunities to profit.
What
And
it,
that's what
what
it's all about, is profiting.
and what that really means is you can follow people that really know what they're doing, and you can also profit like they do.
And just
Basically,
do what
that's
they
it.
do.
Yeah.
Yep, basically that's it. So let's have a quick look at just a couple of the tools that you can have at your fingertips if you choose.
Yeah.
The ones we're going to show you here are a couple of the more popular ones.
Yeah.
Okay, so this first one is harmonics, and Brian, I'll let you go ahead.
Yeah, basically it's a computer program in the background that picks up algorithms and patterns in the market. So as the market moves up and down and around, it actually looks at the patterns that get created by those movements, and then there are decisions of trades that you take from that. It, the percentages of outcome from them is phenomenally high. So anyway, I'll just leave it at that. You
Well,
visually it. Have we got a picture of what it looks like, Anne?
we will in a little bit of it later.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
So we'll have a look at that. Yep.
yeah, we can talk a little bit more about it then. Another tool is called Vibrata. And it's similar to harmonics in that it is a computer program that's created with a set of algorithms that again goes through and searches the markets for potential. Well, I don't even know what the algorithm is looking for, to tell you the truth, but it actually goes through and does its thing and comes back and says, I think this is something that you should look at,
Yeah.
basically, is what it
But
does.
that's a point, Anne. We don't have to know.
We
It's
don't
done
exactly, we
for
don't.
us. That's the beauty of
Yep.
it. Yeah.
That's the beauty. We just have to know how to read it and understand it, and
Yeah.
it just tells us what we need to know.
Yeah.
So again, Very handy tool, very popular tool. This one also has numerous strategies that you can use alongside of the tool itself. So that makes it, again, even more useful.
Yeah.
And then we
It's
have our phone.
I would call vibrator. It's a bit like a Swiss Army knife. It's just
It
got
kind of is.
you just keep opening
Yeah.
things out in it. So
Yeah.
that's
You
if
can
you
use it
know.
100 different ways.
That's if you know what a Swiss Army knife. I think you would as a baby boomer. You'd know what that is.
I think you would. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
then,
yeah, there's swipe trades, which there are. Basically, this is real live traders that assess the market and send messages out to your phone that you can look at, assess, and then put a trade on. So they actually analyze the market and give you trade ideas that you can then look at and then either put a trade on or not. It's up to you. So yeah, straight to your phone, basically.
so it just goes to show you, if you can't be at your computer, you can still do it from your phone.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
The wonders of technology. So
Oh,
here
here
you
we
go,
go.
Brian. Here's
Here
your
we go,
picture of
Anne.
harmonic.
Yeah. This is the visual. Yeah, I was looking. So
There's the visual.
this is the harmonic scanner on the left. You can see where the market goes up and down, and it creates that sort of pattern. And so, yeah, when, and there's too much to sort of put what you do with it, but just
That's
shows you a
okay.
visual how it is. And
Yep.
vibrata on the right there
Yep.
is that. So, yeah, there's a full explanation of all this in our baby boomer group.
And if you'd like to become part of it, you can just reach out to either of us, and we'll be happy to get you into that group where you can learn more about these things if you wish, and just have some fun, because we have fun in the group too.
And using the tools and resources that give you a high percentage of success. That's what it's about.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. So just give me 1 second here. I Am Mastery Academy is fantastic. I mean, it really is. It really, really, really is. If you haven't not feeling impressed yet, you will. It has everything you need and more, but there is one major drawback.
Oh yeah. God, there's always something that's a
full
drawback.
disclosure, right? Okay. They are the biggest and the best by far, and that's how I feel about it anyway. But that can lead to a feeling of being overwhelmed, and we know that because we hear it all the time. And without help, people get confused. It happens all the time. We're aware of it. It's happened to me. I can tell you that for a fact. It's happened to me. And the company itself, because of the magnitude of the company, they can't actually give you personal attention that you deserve, which is why, and we've mentioned this already, that we have our group, which is called the Ninja Forex Traders. So as a group, we can, will, and do give you the help that you actually need.
Yeah. I'll just say here, Anne, a personal thing. This through my life, this online group that we're part of, I have never experienced before. The camaraderie, the help, the assistance, the stuff that's people are eager for everyone to succeed. So yeah. Anyway,
I totally agree. It's quite remarkable, actually. Yep, absolutely. So again, the Ninja Forex Traders, this is the name of our group. And as we say, there's nothing like the human touch. Again, we've touched on that previously when we were talking about doing live trading that we do in the group, so that people can actually be connected to each other a little bit better and learn from each other. Because I don't know, sometimes sitting here by yourself looking at a computer screen all day long, it gets very lonely, and it also gets a little confusing sometimes. So being able to discuss stuff works better. So learning to trade Forex can be a bit confusing, as I just said, at the start of your journey to improved retirement finances, but it doesn't have to be difficult.
Correct.
Our community consists of a fantastic group of people all working towards the same goal, which is to be the best traders that we can and leave no one behind. We work together, we totally do, and totally support each other.
Yeah.
Which is really what Brian just said, but there you go.
It's still up to you to reach out. The help is there. You need to actually, connect.
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. And here's just a quick shot of some of the characters in our group.
Oh gosh, look at them all. Yeah. Oh,
that's
only a few of them. Yeah.
I know. It's only well, we have how many now? Almost 400 people.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So let's talk about the 3 secrets.
That's right. We were going to tell. That's right.
We have some secrets to tell, Brian.
Yeah, correct. Secret 1. How to know the direction of any Forex currency pair within 5 minutes.
Mhm.
Secret
Number 2.
2. Yeah. Let you do it.
Okay, just one of the super simple strategies we use to win 93% of our trades.
Yeah. And the third secret is how to start small and turn $100 into 1,000.
Nope, 100,000.
Well, it is too, 100,000. And the magic formula is being revealed.
Yep.
Would you like to know?
Are you ready? Secret number 1, how to know the direction of any currency pair within 5 minutes. Here we go. It's called market trending. So basically, when you're looking at a chart and you're trying to determine the direction, which really what trending means is the direction that the market is going in, you're going to look at the little lines, which are called candles, and you're going to notice that they're going up or they're going down. We have a tool that we can draw a little line that goes through it to help us visually to see it a little bit better sometimes. But what happens with these candles is that as it goes up, for example, we're just going to use this example that we're looking at, of course. Each time a candle goes a little higher than the next one, a little higher than the next one, and so on and so on, and it continues that pattern, it is known as an upward trend.
Yeah.
Reverse it for the downward trend. The candles will
Oh,
go lower than the next one, lower, lower, lower than the previous, and so on. And then it becomes a downward trend.
Yeah, you've got higher highs and you've got higher lows.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
tells us
Yeah.
what's happening and trending in the market.
Exactly.
Next
So there you
secret.
go. That's how you know the direction it's going. And number 2, Brian.
Yeah, one of the super simple strategies we use to get 93% win rate. This is using, Web Analyzer, Vibrata, whatever. You can just see there, it's telling you on the left in those colored panels, whether it's buy or sell. And basically you're just waiting for certain things to fall into place and then basically placing the trade. You can
This
see
is one of the strategies that is quite popular right now as well, and it's one that we also use when we're doing our live trading. The reason being is that it has exactly 3 things that you need to look for on the chart.
3 simple things.
3 little things. I'm going to say it again. Just 3 little things that you have to recognize and look for, and they are very easy to see, and it's actually in the circle right here. In terms of whether or not the trade is a viable trade to take at that moment in time.
Correct.
Should we tell them what it is, Brian, or should we keep it a secret?
No, we'll tell them later sometime.
We'll tell them later. Okay.
Yeah.
And just an example, this is a little testimonial regarding this very strategy that we're just talking about. James says that he just tested or back tested BYOB strategy on just the Great Britain New Zealand dollar over the last 30 days. He's added another indicator and follows the 3 rules plus waiting for a line to be in the right position, basically. I'm just going to sort of paraphrase because it's using terminology that most people won't know. He took the first trade opportunity that met the criteria each day and went for 10 pips, which is what we would do as well. Here are his results over those 30 days. He had 27 wins, 2 losses, and 1 day where he didn't find a viable trade. And that does happen sometimes. So as you can see, I'm not going to read the whole thing. As you can see, this particular strategy, again, because of its simplicity, it is working very well for everyone who uses it, basically.
Yeah. High percentage of success. That's what we want.
Yeah, extremely so. And secret number 3 is how to start small and turn $100 potentially into $100,000.
100,000. But over what time? This is the formula we're going to reveal.
Let's have a look, shall we? This is through the magic of compounding, which we did mention previously. In this particular case, though, sometimes I think with people when they hear the word compounding, they do relate it to interest that they're being charged on loans, car loans, mortgages, credit cards, and so on and so on. In this case, compounding itself really is the way that something will increase over time by virtue of a certain percentage formula. In this particular case, compounding works for us rather than against us. And this is basically how we grow our own account. So again, we're going to look at $100 as the starting point for an account. Our goal is a 3% growth for the account on a daily basis. And so based on that, excuse me, the math tells us that starting at that day one at $100 by the end of that first month, we will almost have doubled it to $180.61, which, you know, it's more than you started with, so that's all nice. It doesn't sound overly impressive, however, but when you keep doing that and you do it month after month after month after month after month, suddenly the math starts working in a very miraculous way. When we look then now on the chart on the right, looking at month 12, after a year, that money has now grown to $120,485.26.
This is not funny maths. This is
not funny math. This is actual math. Do the numbers yourself. If you don't believe us, get out your calculator and start calculating away, and you will find the exact same thing.
Yeah.
This is math. Math and numbers do not lie. So that is, you know, one thing. But the other thing that we need to point out, Brian, is that, again, this is a mathematical equation, and this is a perfect world scenario. We know that the world is not perfect, and there are going to be days when things are going to go in your favor. There are going to be days that are not going to go in your favor. So the end result is that at the end of that 12 months, it's not super likely that you're going to be at that actual amount. But here's the thing. Here's the thing to think about. If it was half that,
$60,000.
so $60,000.
Yeah.
When you started with 100, is that such a bad thing?
Not at all. Not at all. And if $100 came out at $30,000 at the end of the year, with a little bit of time each day,
yeah,
that's not such a bad thing either.
It's even, again, at half that amount, that is more than a lot of people make while they're still working in a year.
Full time.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't need to spend that amount of time per day trading either.
No, you don't. You really don't. So again, we invite you to ask us to become a member of our Facebook group. Our Financial Freedom Movement Baby Boomer Edition is what it's called. And again, there's more information on there. We have, Brian and I, a separate video that goes through this in a lot more detail, so that you can see it in action a little bit better than this, but you get the gist. Yeah. I hope you get the gist. So Brian, what are we going to get?
Well, of course, everything that I Am Mastery Academy has to offer. That's what we've really got. You sign up. It's pretty easy. I mean, you just go on. You can you choose the package that you want and the monthly thing, because it's just a monthly payment. I mean, yeah. I've said this plenty of times. Like, being in business, when I used to have business, I'd have to rent a place and I'd have 3 months up front for the rent, for the bond, and then you'd have the wages, and then you'd have all the moving costs, and it's enormous, right? So there's so much loaded up front, and then you've got to try and earn over the months to get. This is such a great idea that you just have a monthly fee. There's not this sort of big loading at the front end that you've got to try and work away. So it's fantastic. So it's like, yep, as you learn, you can earn money as well and pay for what it costs. Yet absolutely, the cost is minimal to the potential of what you can earn. So yep, sure, the sign up, so all that sort of stuff, we can show you how to do that. But what we really want you to do is to succeed. And so we have these bonuses for you. What we know is that the sign-up's easy, all the stuff's easy, but it can be overwhelming unless you have some direction. And that, yep, direction is what gives you then that success. So let's, yep, look at the bonuses, Anne. Let's
have a look at what we're going to give you. So bonus number 1 is a one-on-one get started fast call. We value this at about $997. It is a priceless opportunity, to be honest with you, to actually sit down with a knowledgeable person who will walk you through everything that you need to do to get going, where to find things, how to do some certain things, so that you understand at the get-go exactly what it is that you need to be doing. Because it
This
is
is
very easy to get lost right from the get-go. So
yeah, this is the shortcut method that you're getting as a bonus.
yeah,
I need to put a note here though. It's only for the first 15 people.
that's
Like,
correct. So
it's a limited offer as such.
yeah. So people do understand that the one-on-one is with Brian and myself, or not and or, um, and that's who will be doing the one-on-one call with you. But again,
Right.
yes, our time is valuable as well, and so yeah, we can only offer this for the first 15 people who join us.
Yeah, no worries
Okay,
at
and
all.
bonus number two.
Whoa. Okay. Part of it is this live trading coaching. We were saying in the Ninja Group, we do that. So unless you join us, either myself or Anne and myself, unless you do, you can't get access into this live trading. So this is the bonus that we're going to offer after we help you and assist you to get set up. You can get straight into the live trading, not just ours, the whole group, and into go live as well as part of IML. So we can give you some help in who you might want to follow as you're going through your educational program. You can
Mhm.
follow certain educators that will help you through that educational process as well.
Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. And then bonus number three is
Oh,
truly exclusive. It's our automated advisors, or expert advisors as they're known.
this is
Um,
only in the Ninja Group.
Absolutely,
This,
positively only in the Ninja Group, for our
yeah,
members in the Ninja Group. This is not something you are going to find anywhere else, I promise you.
yeah,
This is some exclusive software that was in fact written by one of our members, quite brilliant man. And basically what this does is it will monitor your trades for you. So you can choose to start a trade, and then you can apply the software to the trade, following a certain guideline and certain parameters and information that you're going to plug into it. And then basically it will look after it for you. So it takes a lot of the monitoring off of your shoulders, frees you up to go off and do something else because you know that it's being dealt with for you.
yeah.
And that I can tell you, especially if you're doing a longer term trade, that is a blessing, to
Absolutely.
be able to know that you don't have to worry about what's going on with it.
All right. Third
Yep.
bonus. Gosh,
And
Anne.
next one is bonus number 4.
4. Okay. So this is where there are a number of strategies, and they're not necessarily obvious, if that makes any sense. And what we have is we have experience in a number of these strategies that we can actually give you the basics, teach you those basics within the Ninja Group and within the Baby Boomer Group and stuff. So we've been around here for a while. We've we've done a few miles, a few Ks, a few whatever you want to have as your measurement. And so we have lots of different strategies. And people would say, well, why would you have lots of different strategies? It's really simple. Different strategies suit different lifestyles.
Precisely. Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
are trying to do a strategy or apply a strategy that is not going to fit your lifestyle, one is you're not going to be successful at it, and two, you're going to really struggle. So, or maybe you're going to struggle and then you're not going to be successful. It depends on which one comes first or second. Yet,
Yeah.
if you apply a strategy that suits your lifestyle, the percentage of success in it increases and your ability to be successful is as well. So, yeah, no worries. So then that's bonus 4 for any of
That
these
is bonus
strategies.
number 4. And then bonus number 5 is exclusive membership to our secret trader community. Again, that's our Ninja Group that we'll, you become a member of. Again, in my opinion, it's actually priceless, but
Yeah,
it's valued at $149. In that group, again, you get all full support of ours, all of the upper echelon members as well as all of the other members. I can tell you from experience that if you have any kind of a question, you just simply put it into the group and someone is going to answer you probably within minutes, and help you out with whatever it is that you need to know. But on top of that, there's a lot of People providing information, like maybe they have a good trade idea, they'll put it in there and we share that. And again, we do the live trading through that group as well. So just an example here is this testimonial from Dee, who says that it makes you feel like you're not alone, struggling to figure it all out. He says, I learn as I watch. I'm still very much a beginner, but this group and the I am market mastery TV trading and training are helping me tremendously. The education is okay, but I need to see it in action to get me going. And that's the thing for a lot of people, actually. That's just how my brain works, he says. There's diversity in the group, different strategies being used depending. And the Ninja Morning Group is a bunch of great people willing to help and share what they know with each other and encourage and support. And he's very grateful that it was initiated. So there you go. There's an unbiased opinion.
So the thing is, you could read a whole lot of stuff, yet, as I said, if you visually see it and you're able to apply it, do it at the time when you see it, that then will be integrated into your knowledge much quicker and easier. So it
also raises the accountability in some respects too. So
okay, that's bonus number 5.
So we really don't want you to just join. We want you to succeed. That's the thing. We are full-time traders, part-time traders, some just getting started and some experienced. We all work together to help each other along our trading journey. Those within the group with more experience happily share their knowledge and provide guidance to those who ask. So we are not about competition. We're about collaboration.
Absolutely. It's
120, 50, 200%.
Helping each other up. That's right. You know, and there's also too, it's a community of over 300 like-minded people. This is, we've talked about the support. The support as you're learning is really, really important. And it's this live trainings, live trading, all of that access then to the coaches and the trading. There's also too, a number of us have NLP, neuro-linguistic programming sort of knowledge, which is more about mindset and how you're going to have your mind in the right space. And that's sort of in there. And then we have that free bonus software as well. My gosh, 5 bonuses that we're going to offer plus that.
There's all kinds of good stuff. So you can get started now. For just, and this is a personal choice kind of a thing, but we will also, let me just explain this in a moment. We have 2 starter packs. The first one is known as the Elite Starter Pack. It is $325 first payment, then $275 per month after that. And it says here, of course, this is for those who are ready to go all in. It comes with everything that they have to offer you.
This is US dollars, and just
US dollars, correct? Yes,
US
it does. This pack also includes all of the every powerful add-on that there is to simplify everything. And then we have our Platinum Starter Pack. For the first payment of $225 and then $165 per month following that. It's known as an introductory package, which includes the Mastery Academy, Go Live, the exclusive harmonics scanner, and our own talk channel known as Pip Talk. Within our group, we always recommend going with the Platinum because you can add the other things to your package as you go and as you want to. And as you become more experienced, the other pack can be increase the possibility of being overwhelmed. So we try to keep things as simple as possible.
And they can also start with the Platinum Pack. They can then upgrade to the Elite Pack if they want all the other things anyway too, or put components. It's actually, it's really
a lot of things are a la carte, so you can you can add as you wish.
This is the bit where the rubber meets the road. This is where, the people will go, oh, this is what it's going to cost. If we break this down though, Anne, it's basically $8 or $9 a day per day. And if you have a couple of coffees a day, you're probably going to be paying that per day.
Or you eat lunch out, or
well, I'm not saying you shouldn't drink coffee anymore to pay for this. I'm just putting it into perspective of a daily sort of cost, or a daily investment. I would see it as an investment in your ability, and I'll bring you back to $100 to 120,000 a year in a year,
Potentially,
or 60,000 if you want to be conservative and halve it. So that's, and if you think about that per year, this is like, I don't know, 2,000 a year to be able to earn 60K a year. You've got to put it and you only pay it monthly. It's an
and it's much less
installment.
than a college education.
Much less. Anyway, sorry, this is how you get started. Yep. So where have they got
All
to go?
right.
Oh, here's
So
the
let's look.
packages.
Yeah. So as I mentioned, the prices we've talked about previously were for the first month. That's your introductory price, and then for the elite package, it becomes $274. Like I said, $275 per month after that, and the platinum is $165 per month. And as I mentioned, we suggest starting with the platinum package, but we also highly recommend that you add the web analyzer, now known as Vibrata, to the package, again because of the multitude of strategies and the information that it provides.
We're certainly not going to stop them signing up to the elite
No,
package,
absolutely not.
and we will assist them through that process
Yep,
to work out what is best for them to use. Okay.
definitely.
All right.
So let's go over everything that you're going to get. So you are going to get full access to IM Mastery Academy with the introductory platinum pack, including the Mastery Academy Go Live, the exclusive harmonic scanner, and Pip Talk. You are also whoops, daisy. Sorry about that, folks.
That's all right. We'll just go back.
Messed something up here. Hold on.
There we go. Oh,
no, there we go.
We go.
And again, if you're all ready to go full in, then you want to go with the elite pack, which includes everything in the platinum package and more, like 12 additional add-ons to simplify learning and gain full mastery of the markets.
Wow.
Again, we value these at priceless because the amount of information that is in there really just is impossible to put a figure on.
It's not the cost that you pay that it's really worth.
No. Yeah. It's worth far more. In fact, we have actually heard from professional traders who look at all of this and tell us, quite frankly, that we aren't charging enough.
Yeah.
For the
and that's
amount.
Okay. We don't want to charge. I mean, we don't
No,
want to.
We don't want to. We want to make it accessible to everybody as much as we can, right?
Yeah, so. But when you say priceless, let's look at one item. That harmonic scanner had been charged $5,000 one-off payment to buy access into it. You don't have this upfront big cost. No, it's included.
You actually don't. So you have your choice of those two initial packages, then your bonuses, of course. So you get the one-on-one get started fast call for the first 15 people only at $9.95 value. You get live trading and coaching to help you speed up your learning process, again, $9.97 value.
Yeah.
You get exclusive automated expert advisors. You can just set it and forget it, basically, and let this software monitor your trades for you. Again, valued at $9.97. You get access to our exclusive strategies that are only available within our traders group or our traders community. And we've got a few nifty strategies of our own, in addition to all of the other strategies available to you.
and I just want to point out, there's plenty of people that reach out to me wanting me to teach them that strategies that they're outside of the group. And I say to them, unless you're in the group, I can't share them with you. It's that's just the way it is. That's why this is priceless.
Exactly. Plus, you get exclusive membership, of course, to our community. And again, we could easily charge you for all kinds of access and charge you, probably more than $149, but you do get it as part of your membership. So we give it to you for free. So just based on what we're looking at here, all of this, the value of this is well in excess of $3,140.
Yeah.
Well in excess, actually, because again, there are numerous items on here that we simply just can't put a price on. So yeah, there's a lot of good stuff going on. And you can get started now, again, for as little as $225. If you're ready to go get started, you go right ahead. Just use that link at the bottom of your screen right there. And then you'll get a chance to have a look at the information that's there, in addition to what we were showing you now. You can follow the link that's in that website, and it will take you straight into being able to sign up.
Yeah, you just need to go and sign up as a customer, basically, and choose that the package that you want. Yeah.
Yeah, whichever one you choose. Yeah,
And if you need help, just get back to us. We can help you through the process.
absolutely.
So if
But
all this did was make your retirement outlook look rosy, would it be worth it? Would it? If all this did was relieve your worrying about your financial future, would it be worth it or not? It's up to you. And if all this did was help you learn how to generate income from home, would it be worth it? You've just got to just ask yourself those questions. And if
yep,
you want to get started now, there's the link.
there
Yeah.
it is. Yep.
So then,
So now you have two choices. Your
only
first
two.
option. Yep, only two. Again, we
Pretty,
make it simple.
pretty
We like
simple.
simple. So your first option is do nothing and lose this opportunity.
Yeah.
Your second option is to pony up this small investment today compared to all the value you'll get in return and just give it a shot.
Yeah.
Get started now.
Give it a go. That's
Yep.
right.
Give it a go. Absolutely. If you didn't choose to sign up immediately, in other words, if by now you haven't already made up your mind, these are the likely reasons for that.
Yeah.
Reason one, you don't currently have any knowledge about trading or currency markets and aren't sure you can really do this.
Well, the point is you can. We know. We started
We know.
without any knowledge. So reason two, you're
Exactly.
nervous about the technical skills needed to set it up. Again, we started without any of that knowledge.
Yeah.
Well, reason three.
You think it's too expensive.
Yeah. Or maybe you could think it's too cheap. Too good to be true. Nah, it's
very good and it's very true.
Correct. Okay.
So again, Brian, let's reiterate everything that they're going to get.
Yeah, we got full access to the platinum package if you want, with all of those tools and resources, or you can go for the VIP access if you want with the elite and get the whole shebang. You get a one-on-one call for us only for the first 15 people, and you know what the value is. The live trading and coaching to help you speed up your learning process. Again, you can see what the value is. Exclusive automated expert advisors. This is the set and forget, put them in, work out the currency, put it on. It'll help monitor the trades for you. You can see the value there. Exclusive strategies only available to our traders, and we've got a few nifty strategies. We will help you, teach you what suits your lifestyle. You tell us what you want. And then exclusive membership to our secret traders community, where we do the live trading and all that. And that value in excess of $3,140.
Yes, indeed.
So if you started yesterday.
Yeah, let's suppose a little bit. So let's suppose that you did start yesterday and you started with $200 in your account. That would mean, again, based on 3% growth per day, which we discussed previously, that would mean that you would make $6 in that first day. If that continues and you made that $6 every day, well, then of course now you're looking at almost $241,000 potentially at the end of 12 months. So by not starting yesterday, you potentially have lost that.
Correct.
Because here we are today, and you don't have your $6 that's compounding.
Absolutely. You're not on the path. You haven't made the first step.
Yeah. And let's look at it another point of view. If you don't start tomorrow, then not only now have you lost that $6 and the compounding that it can grow to, it's now $12 that you've lost, okay, from yesterday and today. So you've lost that. So potentially now you've lost almost $500,000 potentially. It's remarkable how this math goes. It's just actually very eye-opening. So again, get started now, and there's the link for you again.
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just grab that and then have a look there. So Brian, are we anything special?
No, not at all. We're normal human beings that just made a decision. We didn't go to school to learn how to trade. We just looked at the opportunity and assessed whether we felt we could be up to the challenge. We've spent years of trial and error to discover these secrets, and we're just going to give it to you today for a tiny investment. You can resign yourself to the financial struggle that's waiting for you in retirement, or you're already in retirement and you're struggling, or maybe not. It's up to you. If you're comfortable, you don't need to do this. But if you're looking down that barrel of uncomfortableness, then this could be what you've been looking for. You could, well, maybe you've been looking at lots of other places that haven't worked for you, like Anne and I did previously.
Yeah.
You could spend countless hours of trial and error yourself doing it the hard way. I talk to people every day. It's like, yeah, I think I'll do it on my own. It's like, well, that's okay. You can do it the hard way, or you can use what we actually use and what we're offering to you now.
Which is I Am Mastery Academy. So again, there is the link. You can get that and get started there. Now, of course, we can't forget to mention a very important aspect here, and that is, as I said before, you can always, go for it and take a shot at it and give it a go, right? That's where this comes into play.
Yeah.
Once you join I Am Mastery Academy, you have a full 7 days to thoroughly check it out. All the tools and training, all of that. You can even trade on a demo account. If you decide at that point it's just really not for you, you can request a refund. There will be no questions asked.
Yeah.
I must point out, though, that basically hardly anybody ever does. Most people are quite thrilled and impressed with what they get. But again, you have 7 days in which to make that decision. But again, hardly anybody ever does. But it's there if you want.
Yeah.
So again, we'll suggest that you get started now with that link that we're showing you again at the bottom. And we should point out that the 7-day no risk offer applies only to the purchase of a platinum package.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does not apply to the elite package. Okay. So there's that. And Brian, there you go.
Yeah, just think where you could be now if you started a year ago. Right? Depends on what you're starting with. Is it $100, $200, $400, whatever? It multiplies and compounds. If a better retirement is for you, then don't put off speaking to us. Reach out to us if you want to. If you've got questions, if there are still questions from this, then you need to reach out and get them clarified for yourself, because all it's going to do is create procrastination. You're going to use it as some sort of reason why you shouldn't do this if you haven't got your questions answered. So it's your responsibility to reach out and get those questions answered. There's no obligation. And why would you want to miss out on this compounding? Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So that concludes our webinar. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you enjoyed maybe learning a few things today. You enjoyed, what we have to show you. And we are looking forward to hearing from you.
Yeah, no worries at all. Thank you, Anne. That's great. I mean, this is information that people may not have ever seen before, and we are now allowing them to understand. I have plenty of people that reach out to me and go, I just didn't know this was available. I didn't know that I could access into it. So now you do.
Many people have no idea.
Yeah. So now,
on top of which, we should also point out how many of our members are actually baby boomers as well.
Correct. Well, a large majority. So, so make the step. Take the step.
Go for it.
That first step is where you can now build a comfortable retirement, like Anne and myself.
Exactly.
So thank you very much.
Thank
all right,
you.
then. See you on the other side, trading and compounding.